How's it going, everyone? Hopefully, everyone's having an awesome day. I certainly am. It's a glorious day, and I really don't know what the future has to hold. But I do want to take this time for the people over at YouTube. I want to say thank you for the views. Now, when I did this, I really didn't expect views, and I know these views are only single digits or two digits. But 17 and 20 and 26 and 18 and 17, that's outstanding. I mean, I don't know what my average view time is, but I just was looking at this and I noticed my two videos for this year are in two digits, 17 and 22. That's outstanding. And I just want to say thank you. Now, I do have some ways to view on Rumble. I mean, I do get a little bit more views here sometimes. I definitely get more views on BitChute. Those are more regular. And I want to say I appreciate you too. Let's see, let's go to here. Just to get an idea, I mean, I get 24, 33, 38, 48. So I appreciate you too. I want to give you all some love and say that I really do appreciate the views. But we're not talking about my views. We're not talking about how much I appreciate you. I just want to say that I do appreciate everybody watching. But we're going to be talking about a joke that is not funny. Don't get me wrong, this is not funny. Wrong one. It's this one. Journalist caught on hot mic joking about Trump being assassinated like JFK. This is not a joking matter. When we talk about taking out current leaders or former leaders of our great country, that is not what our country is built on. Journalists at the E. Barrett Pettyman U.S. courthouse joked about getting a good video shot of Trump, referencing JFK assassination. Trump's lawyer argued in D.C. appeal court that he should be immune from charges related to his attempt to overturn the 2020 election and the Capitol riot. The outcome of the argument has significant implications of the criminal cases against Trump that may lead to further appeals before the U.S. Supreme Court. But really, this is not a joke, talking about assassinating people, especially leaders. We're at the New York Post. See here, journalist caught on hot mic. I already read that headline. Two media members were heard cracking jokes. One moment. There we go. I just want to stop that. I wish they wouldn't autoplay, but let's see here. Two media members were heard cracking jokes over a hot mic Tuesday about former President Donald Trump being cut down by an assassin's bullet as they waited for him to appear in federal court in Washington. The unidentified male journalists had their news cameras stationed outside of the E. Barrett Pettyman U.S. courthouse when they started to grouse about the difficulties of getting a view of the 77-year-old 2024 Republican frontrunner. Trump is 77 years old. I think Biden's 78 or 79. Can we elect someone that's, I don't know, in their 50s, 40s, 36? Just saying, we need some young blood in there. You know what the worst part is? Even if he had his window open and he's hanging out, he'll be on the other side of the street. One person could be saying on the live feed from the Associated Press. I mean, if he's driving, we got a good shot. The second reporter said, hopefully, to which the first replied, yeah, if he's driving with the front window open. The conversation then swerved into the gallows of humor about the former president arriving in an open top car like one of President John F. Kennedy was riding in when he was assassinated in Dallas, November 22nd, 1963. Yeah, or if it's a convertible, the second one person said, I wasn't thinking about that, replied the first. Yeah, if he just pulled up, and the second started saying before the first interjected and asked like JFK. Not a good look, to be honest. Not a good look for the journalist. Maybe someone, just like they told JFK, you know what you should do. You should take a convertible. So nice out. The media member continued to laugh from its cohorts. Senator Trump faced the D.C. appeal court panel hearing, or to hear his attorney argue that he should be immune from charges in connection to his attempt to overthrow the 2020 election loss and the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot because he was not impeached and convicted first in connection with those events. I mean, this is something I agree with. I mean, I think if you want to take down a president or former president on criminal charges, we could argue if it's actions during his term or after the term. I mean, there's only a handful of presidents still alive to where if you want to criminally charge a former president, you have to impeach him. To authorize the prosecution of a president for office would official acts would open a Pandora box from which this nation may never recover, argued Trump's attorney John Sauer, asserting that under the presidents could be prosecuted for giving Congress false information to enter a war or authorize drone strikes targeting U.S. citizens abroad. So, like Bush gave Congress false information, like Obama ordered the drone strike of U.S. citizens abroad. The outcome of the arguments carry enormous ramifications for the landmark criminal case against Trump and will likely set a stage for further appeals before the U.S. Supreme Court, which last month declined a request to weigh on a former president's immunity claim, but could still get involved later. A swift decision is crucial for special counsel Jack Smith and his team, who are eager to get the case currently paused pending immunity appeal to the trial before November election. But Trump's lawyer, in addition to seek the case to get dismissed and hoping to benefit from a protracted process that could delay the trial well past the scheduled March 4th start date into the heat of the presidential campaign. We shouldn't joke about stuff like this. When Lincoln was assassinated, it was a terrible time for America. I mean, I will say that his assassination helped our nation heal from the Civil War. But even then, he was a president that was gunned down at a theater. It was a dark time in our history. When JFK was assassinated here in Dallas, Texas, it was a sad and dark time for America. We shouldn't wish death on of our elected officials. I mean, I get that I might joke about Hillary Clinton and a few others, but we're talking about the president. We're talking about people running to be president of our country. That is the spokesperson. That is the executive person that we put in charge. They can either make peace or create war abroad. There's a lot of pressure on them. I mean, I shouldn't really joke about Hillary Clinton or any other members. I just want them to no longer be part of the government in any form, whether elected or advisory. And I'm not going to say I'm going to be perfect moving forward. I do know that I probably made jokes about that. But it's not, but for journalists, which I am not a journalist. I'm just a random person on the internet that reads the news that has opinions. and I'm commenting on those opinions. But I would make sure, I don't know if I made sure, but I would be more cautious to make sure I wasn't recorded making such comments and to like this type of action to Donald Trump or any person is uncalled for. Let's see what some of the comments have to say. Let's see, so shameful, it's hard to believe how low our society has fallen. It also shows their ignorance. They should not be able to make such threats against President Trump without serious consequences. I don't think they were making threats. They were just joking. They weren't saying that he wished he would come into a convertible so we could take the shot. They were just making a comment that were joking that someone else should take it. But I understand it's definitely could be perceived as a threat. As here, taking consideration that the AP recent conduct, I was expecting nothing less. We don't even know if it was AP. It just heard on their live feed. If Trump is not granted immunity, no president should. This means any president that started any conflict can be held personally responsible for any collateral damages. Let the trials of any living president begin. If Trump is held liable to charge the GOP glove, the GOP gloves will come off and they will charge Biden for his role of not firing of Ukraine prosecutor that was investigating his son. Biden boasted if the prosecutor is not fired, you're not getting the money. The whole European Union called for that clown to firing. You guys are so desperate to find something. I mean, the president has been set. Obama's next. I agree. Open Pandora's box of Obama's drone strikes that resulted between 100 to 1,100 innocent civilian deaths. Innocent, really? I mean, innocent until proven guilty as a citizen's right under the Constitution. He drone striked an 11-year-old American-born kid. Can't argue with that, man. Obama was the great president who stopped a Republican recession from becoming a depression and saved the auto industry and gave people health care who couldn't get it. That's more of Congress. He just signed the law. Yes, Obama should be tried and awarded Medal of Honor for fixing Bush's wrecked economy, so Trump didn't have to do anything but tax break the rich and punk the middle class. Clearly, let's see here. I don't even know where there was. Come on with these false arguments. It's not for presidential actions, for criminal actions. You cannot summon a mob that you know is armed, go to the Capitol and disrupt the Constitution and required function. What's wrong with you people? That's one way to look at it, but he never called for that. He never called for that. I mean, agreed. So, yes, Trump should also be tried for mass murder for installing his dual citizen slow son-in-law to manage a COVID response and went silent and walked away without telling anyone when Trump saw it was killing off his enemies first. Yeah, whatever. After the failed withdrawal of Afghanistan, you can recall Biden on television boasting how he got terrorists responsible for bombing at the Kabul airport, only find out he killed Red Cross workers, his wife, and their 5 children with a switch drone kinetic weapon that uses steel blades to slice everything into pieces. The legal punishment for the electric chair in many states. Then you have Barack Obama, who killed more children than Rasputin. I mean, my boy Barry killed more civilians, even American citizens, without due process. And add together, he killed count larger than every president can combine. Arguably the worst serial killer the world has ever seen. A little hyperbolic, but I get it where you're coming from. Let's see, I wouldn't identify them as journalists rather than state propagandists. Let's see here, we're no longer a nation of laws without borders. Arguably, we're no longer even a nation. We're a banana republic, disappear political opponents. Trump is certainly assassination candidate, so is RFK Jr., for who Obama and Crooked Joey refused to provide Secret Service protection, which all candidates always have gotten. Well, Trump already has Secret Service protection because he's former president. Biden doesn't think RFK stands a chance, so he's not going to provide it. Let's see here. AP, do you mean Arab Press, Associated Press? That's all the comments I'm going to read. But yeah, this is not a joking matter. I don't think that these people should get in trouble legally, but I do think they should be fired from their job to send a message or at least punished in some way. I don't even know if they are working from the AP. They just heard on the AP's live stream. So who knows who they work for. But I hope they are able to be identified, and I hope some repercussions for joking about in the matter they're joking because it's not funny. No one's laughing. At least I'm not laughing. I'm sure that there's some left wing nut out there's laughing, saying, "That's a funny joke." It's not funny. At least not in my sense. And I have a dark humor. I really have a dark humor. I don't really joke that much on here because kind of emotionless. I'm just reading, calling out my opinions. But with that being said, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, and evening.